What rights do disabled people have here in the UK? Disabled people, over the years, have fought and protested for legal protections that protect us from discrimination and for us to have the same level of access to society, goods and services as anyone else. What are these legal protections, and what sort of things should cultural producers, event planners and organisations be doing to make sure we're upholding these protections? Disabled people are protected from discrimination by the Equality Act 2010. This bit of legislation protects a variety of groups, and this of course includes disabled people. Under the Equality Act, you are considered disabled if you have a physical or mental impairment that has a substantial and long-term negative effect on your ability to do normal daily activities. Under the Act, disabled people are protected from discrimination in a few areas, including employment, education, dealing with the police, and more. So what this means is that disabled staff, guests and freelancers are also protected by this legislation. When planning cultural events, you have an anticipatory requirement to make your services as accessible as possible before a disabled person faces a barrier, not after. So, what could this look like? When working with freelancers, employees and collaborators, you should be thinking about something called reasonable adjustments. These are adjustments that allow disabled workers to do their jobs and reduce disadvantages they face in comparison to non-disabled workers. But what about the events themselves? Let's say you're planning an art exhibition. Have you thought about the wall text and whether it can be read by everyone? Have you considered adding the text in a larger font size or making it available to read via QR code? What about music or performance-based events? If an event is loud and crowded and some visitors need to leave, or if someone needs to go to a toilet quickly, are there clear, unobstructed routes to allow a speedy exit? Maybe you're planning a poetry night. Not everyone will be able to hear the poems, so have you considered projecting the words on screen to allow people to follow along? If your adapted toilets have changing tables and other items in them, have you made sure that they're easy to access and move around in? Is the emergency cord low enough to the ground so that if someone has an emergency, they're able to reach it? But even knowing all of this, it's crucial to remember that you won't always know that someone is disabled, but adaptations should be put in place anyway. This is part of the anticipatory requirement I was talking about earlier. It shouldn't only be up to disabled people to ask for these adjustments. We should be thinking ahead and doing our best to provide them anyway. And it's good to remember that putting these adaptations in place benefits everyone. Providing accommodations and reasonable adjustments shouldn't be an afterthought. It's something to think about in all stages of your work. And maybe right now you're thinking, wow, that's a lot to expect from us when planning your cultural events. But it's also a lot for disabled people to constantly face societal exclusion and disableist barriers. We all benefit from disableism in various ways. So, that being said, dismantling it is all of our responsibility.